I thought we defended really well. Played a really good team on the road in our conference opener. A team that's undefeated, very well coached, very disciplined. I thought we came in and played with a lot of energy. Unfortunately, we didn't shoot the ball very well Saturday night. But I really felt like there was some stuff to build on, and I think if we defend like that, if we defend and take care of the ball like we did, we'll put us in a good opportunity to compete and have an opportunity to win each week. They remind me of us a little bit in terms of how many new guys they have in the rotation. So I think they're trying to figure out their identity a little bit. I think we kind of know our identity. It's just a matter of carrying it from practice to practice and then game to game. But obviously two teams that played for conference championship last year. I think Metro won the regular season title, and then UCCS won the conference tournament. So those two teams are used to having success, and should be a great challenge for us. But obviously we're looking forward to having them playing here in front of our home crowd. And people forget, Derek White was just obviously a really special player for them, and before he moved on to Colorado. But Alex Welsh was a first-team All-Leaguer last year as well, and along with Ryan, the only two first-team All-Leaguers back in the conference this year. So a lot of different faces. And this is kind of a familiar thing with everybody, trying to figure out their teams. There's just so many newcomers this year, but they've played an extremely tough schedule, as has Metro. So, I don't think their records necessarily reflect what kind of teams they are. So we need to come in prepared and focused to play if we want to have success. It sure did seem that way. They hit some really tough jump shots, which, we wanted them to do. We really took away the paint. I feel like they didn't get any easy scores. I think they had four points in the paint all night. So from that standpoint, we were successful, but unfortunately, I think, some questionable shot selection, especially in the first half, hurt us a little bit, and that's something we're still working through as a group. But you got to give them credit. They hit shots when they had to, and every time we would make a run, they'd step up and hit a shot. So it didn't go our way this last time, so we just got to make sure we're trying to get better this week in practice. Yeah, I think so. And with this group, they're really conscientious. They want to be good. They play hard. They're unselfish, so they want to do the right things. And I think it's hard, when you feel like, you did about everything you could to be successful, and then you don't have the success kind of like last weekend. I thought, if we defend like that and take care of the ball, we're going to be tough to beat, because, I think for us, that was probably the worst offensive game we've had all year. We've been scoring plenty of points. That hasn't been an issue. We've really been focusing on our defensive intensity, and our guys really brought that. So, it's disappointing to do that and then not see the success. But, I also understand if you do that every night, you're just going to give yourself an opportunity to be successful at every game you play. Yeah, we've been pretty balanced. 2 games previous, I think we had 5 guys in double digits. And we need that. People are really crowding Ryan. They did against Westminster, but they've really been doing that all year. And Ryan still found a way to score. But it presents a lot of opportunities for the other kids. And again, for whatever reason, we just had some shots that didn't fall and just didn't play as well as we would have liked on the offensive end. But we're going to see a lot of different things. So when we do see those, it's all about making the right decision, and then kids hitting shots when we do. It also gets to a point where it's you got to move on that. We're a quarter of the way through our season, so trying to work your way through stuff that you can control. We're kind of beyond that point, and so we got to just be disciplined in what we're doing every time down. And for the most part, our guys have done a good job, I feel like. But yeah, with our schedule so far this year, we've played a tough schedule as well. We obviously would have liked to have a better record at this point, but hopefully, it does what we kind of intended it to do, which is get us prepared for the RMAC season. And going forward, I think it's value experience that these guys have gained.
Just to know when to attack and what are good shots and what are bad shots. We always try to play from the inside out, and so if we're towed up on the 3, we have an open look, and Ryan kicks it out, it's a good shot, and getting the paint whenever we can is good. And when we have times where we're taking bad shots. We need to settle down and come together as a team and really like understand what we're trying to do. Yeah, it was definitely like a game that we thought going into it we should have won. They were a good team and they hit some tough shots against us, but I mean we're excited to get back out there this weekend and have another chance to prove ourselves and get the conference started off good and get our record up and get 2 good wins this weekend, hopefully.
We talked to them, you know, through the recruiting process as well. We both thought, you know, me and Coach Dominguez thought Brandon and Connor were college ready in terms of how intense they play and their skill level. I think they've already shown that. You know, we just lost a lot of kids last year to graduation, and we're always trying to find the best student athletes we can. You know, I just feel like Brandon and Connor are, you know, great team guys, really good players, and they're going to just keep getting better and better. And I think the other thing why they've found success and been able to play as freshmen is they're both extremely coachable. You know, they really try to do what you want. You know, they're not trying to fight things, and you know, as soon as kids start doing that and trying to do what you want, they usually find success. But I thought maturing wise, you know, they were just ready to go. And you're right, we haven't had a lot of kids come in and play as true freshmen. I think only a couple in my 20 years I've been here, and we have 2 this year. So they're both unique, but great kids, great teammates, and I just think they're going to have great careers here. Brandon's just done a great job, and you know, he came from a big high school and from a big city. He played in AAU basketball against a lot of high-level competition, and you could just tell when you watched him play. I mean, he didn't turn it over. He was never nervous to play against anybody. He handled pressure well. He sees the floor well. So he's just doing a lot of good things for us. And sometimes it's things that, you know, don't show up on the stat sheet. But for Brandon to come in and defend the way he's defended, I don't know if we've ever had someone pick up, you know, how to defend and with the type of intensity we need him to as quick as Brandon has.
It definitely makes my job a lot easier and the rest of our team's easier. I've never played with a center like Ryan. He can score the basketball like very easily and from many different ways. It's a privilege to play with him. He takes pressure off all of us. They double, sometimes triple team him, and so it's going to open up the rest of us. Yeah, it does. He's a guy that we can throw it in there, and more than likely he can score it. Definitely makes the transition, takes pressure off of everyone else, makes it a lot easier.
Not a whole lot. You know, when you're in the middle of the season, you kind of become a creature of habit and in routine. You know, we're going to take off a lifting session a little bit later this week so they can focus just on their finals for the week. But you know, with this group, I don't worry about it a whole bunch. It's a really mature group, even though we're pretty young. You know, and they're really the reason why we recruited them, were because of that. They're just great student athletes. They're here for the right reasons. They want to get an education, and you know, we've always found if you recruit kids that want an education, that they'll usually be successful in the classroom.